Chapter 389, 10 Million Fallen. Little Gold didn't expect Van Din to mean this and froze. Although he was very moved, he was still a little embarrassed to let him take this bottle of divine elemental down all by himself. Kang Tia naturally saw Zijin's embarrassment and said with a smile, "Don't be hesitant, you brat. Brahma's talent is not as good as yours. I haven't broken through the divine separation stage yet. Right now you're the only one who is the most suitable to take these divine elemental pills. Brother, you want to break through the divine separation stage is not immediately on the line. It's better for you to take it," Little Gold said, although he was very reluctant to part with these divine elemental pills. Kang Tia was more important in his heart. Kang Tion's heart warmed when he heard this. He knew Zijin's heart and shook his head with a smile. "Are you still not clear about my character? I don't want to rely on the defenses of the Immortal Mansion to break through the divine separation stage. And with the Extreme Spirit Stone Palace, with my talent, it won't take me more than a few decades to catch up with you, not to mention, this is only the reward for the second level. And who knows if there's any more good stuff behind that ... Well then, Little Gold nodded and took the divine elemental down. He didn't take it immediately because this type of elixir had a huge amount of energy and was difficult to refine in a short period of time. I'm afraid it would take a few years to refine it, so he wasn't going to take it for the time being. The three of them then gathered themselves and continued walking up to the third level of the hidden treasure tower. At this point in time, they were still unaware that something terrible had happened outside of the Immortal Mansion, causing the entire orthodox and demonic battlefield, and even the entire cultivation world, to boil over. At the edge of the Nine Heavens Mirage Realm, in the middle of the shattered chaotic void, the broken dawn Immortal Mansion, which had already been dyed red with blood, stood still. And on top of this blood-stained Immortal Mansion, the oldest senior brother's aura was soaring into the sky, an invincible aura that caused the void around him to stir up, and the entire heavens and earth were in turmoil. "Bloody Blade King, just tie your hands." Elder Cultivator said that for the sake of the Elder of Law Enforcement, he could spare your life. "Just waste your cultivation." The 10,000 Poison King laughed grimly. 10,000 Poison King, you also too sinister. What's the difference between abolishing a cultivator's cultivation and killing him? There's no way that the Bloody Blade King will agree to this, in my opinion. Let's just have a painful battle. The Diamond Mountain King, his eldest senior brother, standing on top of the Immortal Mansion with a warlike look on his face. Then he coldly said to the 10,000 Poison King, 10,000 Poison King, don't intervene. Let me fight with him alone first. As long as he doesn't run away, you guys aren't allowed to make a move. Ha ha. Then won't I be able to sit back and reap the benefits in a righteous manner? The 10,000 Poison King laughed, as he suddenly felt that the Diamond Mountain King had become adorable. Although the Blood-Surd King was already at the end of his strength, a wounded tiger was even more terrifying. He didn't want to be bitten back by the Blood-Surd King before he died. HMPH, the Diamond Mountain King let out a cold snort. Then he took a big step towards his eldest senior brother, shouting under his breath, "Come on, Blood Blade King. I've been waiting for this battle for a long time. No need, you guys go together." As the Diamond Mountain King rushed in, above the Immortal Mansion, the eyes of the eldest senior brother instantly became incomparably stern, and a terrifying aura suddenly erupted from his body and rushed up into the heavens. Instantly, boundless pressure enveloped the earth, a massive pressure that pressed everyone present to gasp for air. Among them, those who felt it most deeply were the 10,000 Poison King and the Drill Mountain King, who stared with horrified faces at the golden robbery's clouds that suddenly appeared in the sky, and said in a shocked voice, becoming a ... immortal ... robberies ... Thunder rolled in the sky, and lightning tore through the void. The huge golden robberies cloud also covered an unknown number of thousands of miles, as if the entire earth was trembling under its shroud. The void was shattering. It was being torn apart by a streak of blinding lightning. And that terrifying energy pressure, which swept through this heaven and earth, made everyone feel as if they were very small at this moment. Eldest senior brother stood proudly underneath the calamity cloud, his icy gaze coldly scanning the 10,000 Poison King, Drill Mountain King, and the others who were not far away, his deep cold eyes filled with killing intent. I don't know if you guys have the certainty to last through this immortalization tribulation. Eldest senior brother laughed coldly. Not sure. Hell yes. The 10,000 Poison King cursed in his heart, his face full of anxiety. Even the naive Drill Mountain King, at this moment, he also greeted the ancestors of the eldest brother. This is the immortalization tribulation or even if the cultivation elder were to come in his place, he would still not have the certainty to cross it. One must know that everyone's immortalization tribulation was different, and geniuses like eldest brother had the most terrifying immortalization tribulation to go through. What's more, they were all enveloped by the calamity cloud at the moment, and would soon be locked into being the ones who would undergo the tribulation. At that time, the power of the heavenly tribulation would surely be enhanced, and I'm afraid that Elder Cultivator would have to die even if he came. Bloody Blade King, you're crazy. Right now you won't be able to survive the heavenly tribulation at all. You'll have your soul scattered, the Diamond Mountain King shouted, hoping that the Bloody Blade King could give up on the tribulation. As long as he was willing, he could completely withdraw his breath, because the immortal formation tribulation was different from other heavenly tribulations. As long as you didn't release your breath, you wouldn't attract a heavenly tribulation. It could be said that the immortal formation tribulation was the only heavenly tribulation that you could choose, whether you wanted to cross or not. As long as you didn't want to cross the tribulation, you could completely stay in the cultivation realm all the time, except that in that case, you wouldn't have the chance to go to the heavenly realm. Like the cultivation elder and the law enforcement elder, they could invoke the heavenly tribulation at any time. It's just that they didn't want to go to the heavenly realm for the time being, because they were all bigwigs of their respective sects. If they went to the heavenly realm now, it would have a great impact on their respective sects, so they wouldn't choose to cross the apocalypse until they had a successor. And in the Heavenly Tao sect, the eldest brother was the successor of the law enforcement elder, which was known to all. As long as he had the invincible strength of the harmonization stage, he could take over the position of the law enforcement elder. And the law enforcement elder would then be able to cross over and fly to the heavenly realm. And this was how the previous law enforcement elders of the Heavenly Tao sect had spent their time. As a matter of fact, when one's cultivation reaches the peak of the harmonization stage, there is a chance to invoke the immortalization tribulation. And if one's cultivation reaches to the harmonization stage sealer level, then one can invoke the immortalization tribulation at any time. Therefore, in the cultivation world, a conjunction stage seal king powerhouse was known as a party hegemon, because they were the equivalent of nuclear weapons and could summon the immortalization robbery at any time to fight for their lives. And even if they were also a conjunction stage seal king powerhouse, it would be difficult to kill another conjunction stage seal king powerhouse. Eldest brother was a peak conjunction stage seal king powerhouse, so naturally he was even more capable of invoking an immortalization cauldron at any time. Because of his powerful talent, his immortalization cauldron was even more terrifying. The 10,000 Poison King and the Drill Mountain King had been completely shocked by their eldest senior brother's crazy actions, and after being unable to stop the immortality calamity from descending, they decided to split up and flee. Why split up? Because they knew that eldest senior brother would never let them go, so it was best to split up. I hope that guy goes after the Diamond Mountain King. The 10,000 Poison King tore through the void, thinking this in his mind. The same thought also surfaced in the Diamond Mountain King's mind. The 10,000 Poison King is the most insidious. The Bloodblade King shouldn't let him go. As for the dozens of other combined Stage Seal King powerhouses, they were already preparing to tear through space and instantly move away the moment the golden robin cloud descended. But could they really escape? The answer was no. Without absolute certainty, it was impossible for eldest senior brother to invoke the immortal annihilation. And as he looked coldly at the Devil Dao powerhouses fleeing in all directions, his eyes narrowed. And from the slits in his eyes, two cold light shot out unexpectedly. Space blockade. Suddenly, eldest senior brother let out a low shout. And as the 10,000 Poison King, the Drill Mountain King, and the others were preparing to tear through space to instantly move, the space in the area suddenly became heavy and solidified. And no matter how monstrously strong they were unable to perform an instantaneous movement. Damn it, the 10,000 Poison King immediately cursed. Bloody Blade King, you even used a spatial blockade, you. The Diamond Mountain King was also in a state of anxious rage. Every conjunction stage sealed king powerhouse possessed the spatial blockade avatar, and as the eldest senior brother was a conjunction stage sealed king powerhouse, he was even more able to utilize this avatar to the extreme, or at least under his spatial blockade. It would be difficult to perform instantaneous shifts unless one was of unrivaled strength at the conjunction stage. They were clear about it before, so they immediately fled, but they didn't realize that they were still a step too late. None of you will be able to leave, eldest senior brother said coldly, then charged towards the 10,000 Poison King and the Diamond Mountain King with the rolling robotic clouds above his head. The 10,000 Poison King and the Drill Mountain King were instantly scared out of their wits and hurriedly pulled their legs out to run. Of course, they ran separately, and it was the 10,000 Poison King that the eldest senior brother was chasing after.